Indians love free things. While we are talking about free things, Suresh has been hanging out in a whole different continent, speaking in a whole different language which sounds like gibberish to me. All he's been saying these days is Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. Okay, I don't know which continent he's been hanging out in, but here's a full-fleshed out review of the latest iteration of one of the World Wide Web's best kept secrets or best gems, hidden gems. This, of course, is Ubuntu's latest version.
Can technology help you release your inner bohemian? Can you be a hippie and still stay connected? Can you get everything free in life? The answer to all these questions is a resounding yes. Famous Beatle John Lennon once said, "Imagine if everything in the world was free, nobody owned anything and we all shared everything we had." Well, as it turns out, John Lennon was a dreamer, but he was not the only one. Now, before we tell you about the magical everything is free world of Ubuntu, here's a little backstory. Somebody built a computer. Somebody tried using that computer. Somebody found it pretty hard to use that computer. Bill Gates and Steve Jobs got into the act and made Windows and the Apple operating systems. Both pretty good, both very expensive. A radical dude by the name of Linus Torvalds wrote Linux and decided to give it away free. Mark Shuttleworth, another dude, polished Linux, called it Ubuntu and continued to give it away free. For starters, Ubuntu is an operating system that can replace Windows. And yes, it's completely free. The operating system is free, the apps are free, all the basic software is free. You can write, browse, listen to music and watch movies all for free. And the makers of Ubuntu claim that it will always remain free as well. Okay, so it's all free and John Lennon would be very proud. But is it any good? To put it simply, Ubuntu is a really good operating system. For starters, it's lightweight, which means your computer will boot up in about 8 to 10 seconds. Once you start, your screen looks not very different from a Windows start page. The topmost icon on the left is the Ubuntu logo, which you can click on if you want to search your computer for files, programs, apps, music, email or photos. This is an excellent feature and lets you search by category right from your desktop. Ubuntu's free version of MS Office is called LibreOffice and it works as well as Microsoft Office. Use Writer to write documents, Calc to create spreadsheets and Impress to create presentations. The controls and icons within each of these programs are pretty similar to what you're used to with MS Office, so your learning curve is likely to be smooth. You can save your documents in .doc, .xls or PPT formats, or you can be ultra cool and save all your documents in a format called the Open Document Format or ODF. This format is supposedly the way of the future. Browsing is pretty much similar to Windows or Mac, except you cannot use Internet Explorer or Safari for obvious reasons. But both Firefox and Chrome do a spiffy job of helping you navigate the twists and turns of the World Wide Web. Email is pretty neat too. The native email client is called Evolution. It looks and works exactly like Outlook. Evolution has all the trappings of a nice, efficient email client. Email, calendar, notes, memos, contacts, it's all here and reasonably intuitive to use. Most business people who use laptops use it for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, PDF reading and a little browsing. But we all know that man and woman does not live by business alone. Now, if you like your music, your movies, your videos, and of course keeping in touch with your vast social network, don't worry. The good people at Ubuntu have thought of you too. The Ubuntu operating system comes with its own app store called the Ubuntu Software Center. There's no comparison to the Apple App Store or the Android Marketplace, of course, but the Ubuntu Software Center is pretty good. A few thousand free and paid apps with thousands more being developed by the global developer community should take care of most of your needs. And of course, there's the social side to Ubuntu. The inbuilt social client is called Empathy and it has direct links to Twitter and Facebook. So you can update both your Twitter and your Facebook right from your Ubuntu desktop. And yes, Ubuntu is compatible with most printers, external keyboards, scanners, cameras, mouses and other random peripherals. In fact, the makers of Ubuntu claim that all you have to do is connect your device. Ubuntu will find the suitable driver, download it, install it and let you know when your device is ready to use. And finally, last but not the least, with every download of Ubuntu which is free, you also get your own personal cloud storage of 5 GB, also free. Ubuntu One, your personal cloud, can store 5 GB worth of files, music, photos and contacts directly from your laptop and you can access it all via a nicely designed, simple looking interface. And the real joy of all this, it's called the Ubuntu One Music Store. millions of songs that you can buy and have directly delivered to your own personal account in the Ubuntu One cloud. Not only can you store your music in your cloud, you can actually stream your music to your iDevice or your Android phone. Now, all in all, Ubuntu is a fantastic operating system with an even more fantastic philosophy behind it. Just think about it. It's been built and given away free by the collective efforts of thousands of programmers all over the world. It's also headed by a seriously interesting man called Mark Shuttleworth, and he's Ubuntu's so-called benevolent dictator for life. So if you're getting a little tired of Windows and you find all this worship of Steve Jobs and Apple and Macintosh and that whole inbred network, if you're getting a little tired of that, it's time you gave Ubuntu a serious chance. Now, it's not easy to get used to Ubuntu. It will take a little while, but like all good things in life, once you're hooked onto Ubuntu, you will stay a free human being for the rest of your life.
So that's all we have for you on the